Hello, welcome to my channel, Devin Rex for Art here. Today I'm going to be doing a flip through two of my medium-sized journals. These are actually Jane Davenport size journals, 2018 to 2022. This was actually the first art journal I ever bought, and this was what started my journey into mixed media. Back in 2018, so let's go for it. A lot of these pages I'll have posted to Instagram, but most of them have not been seen on YouTube, so I thought I'll try to do a quick flip through just so you can see like what other things I do. I don't just do jelly printing, I do a lot of different types of things. So I thought it'd be fun to share that. I was watching Christina's Craft Shack and she did a hashtag flip through Fridays, and I thought, that's a good idea. So I'm going to do that. Hopefully I'll get that posted today. It is a Friday when I'm filming this, and hopefully I'll get it posted later today. So here we go. So I put the starting date, and then when I finish it, I write the finish date there. So that's my initial. So this was the very first journal page I ever did, was some mermaids, 2018. That's watercolor, and I believe that was inspired by James Burke. Anyways, so that I remember I was sitting in a car when the kids were at soccer practice, and I just watercolored that. This was playing with, is it inks, or I'm not sure if that's watercolor or not, and then just some stamps from Stampin' Up. And this was inspired from a Jane Davenport from one of her books. These are napkins collaged, and it says, change the way you look at things and the things you look at will change. So she's supposed to be upside down. That's on purpose. So really what got me started in art journaling was Jane Davenport, watching her videos and buying her supplies. So here I'm just playing with different inks, and I wrote down the names like Frida, Enchantress, and then what brush I used. So I think I might have been inspired by, yeah, Inspiration Creation CC to do these petals. Some more watercolor. This is Mermaid Fashionistas, inspired by James Burke. Some fun little birds. This is when I got my Inktense pencils. So I was playing with Inktense. Little owl. A seahorse. And this is glittery. Stella, Wink of Stella. Maybe I just used Wink of Stella. And then this was just Inktense pencils, mostly. Just playing with some loopies. This was more of a mixed media page. This is when I started to learn more about mixed media. These might be jelly prints. It's kind of shiny. And this is my dog Lucy and my cat Abby. Devin Rex. She's a Devin Rex cat, and that's where the channel name comes from. She is past the Rainbow Bridge. She's crossed the Rainbow Bridge, so she's no longer with us. And speaking of Lucy, she decided to start barking. And here we have some more, just some watercolors. And then this is when I discovered texture paste, I think, and Lori Marie Jenkins, because you can see got like some text behind there. She calls that underpants. That's in 2018 still. And then I did the same scene here. I tried to do it in different color schemes. And the other thing here, you can see the bouquet. I used a magic eraser to erase that and erase these patterns using stencils. Alcohol inks on Yupo with some doodles. More alcohol inks. These are jelly prints. So this is when I started jelly printing, was in 2018. This is Yupo paper with alcohol inks, and I think with an embossing folder. Another Jane Davenport inspired girl that I made collage hair. It's kind of fun to look through your old journals because then you're reminded of techniques and things you did. And I'm thinking, oh, I should do some collage hair with some jelly prints. This was inspired by a trip to Barcelona, and there was graffiti, and a lot of the graffiti had the two faces. I'll try to write it in a banner. I'll look it up because I follow them on Instagram. These were some doodles while in vacation in PEI. So I just did, you know, the watercolors swatching and then just some doodles, probably inspired by Creation CC or CC Creations. This is a jelly print. So I first started off with a 5x7 plate. That was my first jelly plate. And then just some alcohol ink flowers, some more jelly prints, jelly print with Yupo collaged and then doodled some flowers. I think this was actually my very first Instagram post. I think so. And then this is when I discovered the Elegant Writer. So these, just sort of draw and then use a water brush to activate it and you get these cool colors. And then washi tape, I discovered washi tape. And that's some jelly print collages. This is a watercolor. It's meant to go this way. This was a jelly print and then I doodled on top of it. So I'm starting to learn about Zentangle. I don't think I knew it was called Zentangling yet. And that's 2019. So here we're in 2019. And then this is a napkin collage inspired by Dee Dee Willingham. And I drew my own little lady. That's a moon. I think I just used markers for that. Some alcohol ink. I gotta get back. That reminds me, I want to get back and do more alcohol ink work. And then this was an alcohol ink, sort of looked like a landscape, so I attached it and made. Maybe this is when I got my Neo colors. It looks like Neo colors to me. 2019. And then just a random piece of paper with some Elegant Writer. A doodled flower. Some background. More Yupo doodles. This was for Mermaid in 2019. This polar bear, I think that's his using just, I want to say Distress inks for the background. And then I just drew him with white, white charcoal. I can't, or not charcoal, but some sort of white crayon. Yeah, and this is definitely Distress inks background. So now I'm discovering Tim Holtz and that kind of thing, and the world of reality has its limits. The world of imagination is boundless. And I don't always put words or quotes. And then this is some collaged jelly prints. This is definitely inspired by Creation CC. So just you put a shape and then you doodle. This is a collage. I think I drew her. This was oil pastel, and I just put this on there because it was getting dirty. So it's just a whimsical lady, Jane Davenport style. And then some more. Oh, this is when I got my Paul Rubens metallic watercolors. You can see the shimmer. And then another, these are from Mermaid as well, 2019. Her I painted and then I cut her out and stuck her on. That looks like Magicals. So that's when I discovered Magicals. This is like a journey through my, it's like an archaeological dig through my art supply journey. And here is some more collage using sewing patterns. And then I think Inktense pencils. These are jelly print collage over distressed inks, I think. Oh, and here's the first appearance of one of my favorite jelly print tools, this thing here. More CC Creations inspired. Some doodles. I love doodling. And then this is a James Burke inspired mermaids. It might be a mermaid marker background. And then some little mermaids that I cut. I drew and then I cut them out and collaged them. And then this is Magicals. This was on vacation, just doing some doodles. I had like limited supplies. Oh, it even says I was in Oosterdam. Oh, that's the ship, Oosterdam. I was on a cruise. Just a simple collage. This is definitely inspired by Laurie Marie Jenkins. So got your underpants with the gesso and then smooshed, and then add the color. So you can barely see like the images. This feels good. I like the texture of that. And then a little collage. I made a little, this is my first mini book. Just sort of stamped. Just using a map to make a little tiny book. And this is really when I got involved in the art community online on YouTube, and Dee Dee Willingham's group, well, her channel. There's lots of people I met there, and then subsequently followed their channels. And yeah, shout out to everybody there. This is some Stampin' Up! Stamps and die cuts. Collage. This is a paint along with, I think it was Colleen Scrapchick and Beth Schuler or Kathy Berg, I cannot recall. My purple cow, I like that. And then here's a similar paint along. This is my llama. I didn't know how to spell llama. I put some bananas. And then these are a bunch of tags I did. Let's look at these. So that's a napkin. That is Magicals with stamps colored. I don't know what that is. Just some stamps. These are kind of fun. That's a napkin. I don't know what that is. Oh, these are stuck together. I think that's, I did a stamp with embossing. That's kind of cool. And then the Paul Rubens metallic. I'm gonna have to do that again. And then this stamp with some stencils, stamps, and yeah. So, and some jelly prints to make the pockets. So let's go to the next book. So this finishes 2019, and I do have other journals. This is just my medium-sized journal. This is really the journal that started my whole journey, I would say. So let's grab the next one. This next one, I just finished the cover. I did finish this journal back in July of 2022, but I just recently finished painting the cover. I didn't paint the ladies though. Those are from a napkin that Lena sent me. You can see this is the napkin here, and then I added onto the body, and I did the back as well. And it's 2020 to 2022. And this one fell apart, but so I just today I added this marble paper that I made, and it smells good. It's like, it's that shaving cream technique, so when you open it, it gives a nice little scent. And then I just used some cheap stamps from Michaels. And then this is a following YouTube tutorial by Jenna Rainey to learn how to do watercolor flowers. And these are my little abstract flowers with I think Intense pencils, and Paul Rubens shimmery watercolors. This was a napkin, and then I added the words and I added some doodles. And this is using the Elegant Writer. Hope this isn't too boring. Just fast forward or watch on 2 times. These are napkins. This was some washi tape sent to me by Zandra, Scraps to Beauty. And then I just added some mermaid tails to them because she's big into mermaids, so I thought that was kind of fun. This is for Mermaid 2020. So I drew her. This is collaged hair. And then I made these little dolphins. And it's got that underpants technique. You can feel the texture. I think there's a YouTube video. One of my first YouTube videos is on this. And here's another napkin collage inspired by Dee Dee Willingham. This is a Juliet Crane coloring book page that I think she had a PDF, a free PDF that I downloaded. And then, yeah, just some coloring books. I think these trees were on the page. I just kind of moved them over. Dee Dee Willingham sent me this napkin with these cool shells. I really liked it. So I did a down undersea, also for mermaid, but I did a merman. And I put crackle paste on the shells. I don't know if you can see that. This is a watercolored betta fish that I did. With some, I just added doodles on top. That's when I got my Daniel Smith paints. I can tell that's the Moon Glow paint. So I've got my Daniel Smith now. And then this is a sticker, and then I did the flowers. I think I used a lot of the techniques I learned on this one. This is a very sticky page. This is, I can tell, this is when I got my Dina Wakley gloss sprays. They're fun, but they clog, so I don't recommend them, but I do recommend them. They're fun to, like, splatter. And then this, I decided to take a paper towel that had a bunch of color on it and just do just a silly, fun collage. I think Dee Dee Willingham might have sent me some of that paper. Again, this is some washi tape from Zandra, and I just did a background and then I put some doodles around them. Looks like I just drew with ink. This is a collage using the security envelopes. This one's very shimmery. You can see the underlayers. I gotta do that more again. Putting those underlayers does add some nice texture. And then the gold, I think that's gold leaf. I don't like this page, but I just took a page from a stamping magazine. And Relax. I think I just had this background and I just decided to add, it was probably winter. Yeah, November 2020. It's November now. If I look outside, it's all snow. So I was dreaming of tropical vacations. And just fooling around. I don't think this one got posted. This is when I got my neon watercolors. That was that I learned about through Lena. I'll link her below. I'll try to link a lot of the channels I talked about in the description. This is when I learned how to properly do Zentangle, and that was inspired by Janet M. Young. This was a prompt list she gave for November. So each section represents one of the prompts. I had a lot of fun doing that. Oil, pastel, resist. I added the watercolor. Again, this is those Paul Rubens Opera Neon watercolors. These are the colors. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I do like me some really bright colors sometimes, especially on those cold, wintry days. So now we're in 2021. So this is March. So here in March 2021. Just a Dee Dee ode to Dee Dee with her watches, because this is from Society of Idea Collectors Challenge by Dee Dee Willingham, and she gave me the prompts Mars, bike, snake, and book. So I made this little cartoon, and it says, suddenly Jake realized that he must have taken a wrong turn at Albuquerque. This, I think, was some stamp carving I did. This is a scrap paper background. I did a YouTube video on making stamps. It's hard to see. I think I threw this in here because it wasn't a very good example. You can see the plants. That's a hard hand-carved stamp that I did. This was inspired by Suzanne Rose art, where you do the watercolor doodles, blobs. And then I used stamps to make the sea creatures, and then I just added a bit of doodle. That was fun. That's similar, except with a leaf motif. This is a napkin. The background's napkin. That's fabric that I put through the embossing machine. And then this is a little watercolor I did. This is Stampin' Up! Die cuts. Just a whole lot of stuff on there. Here's a napkin collage, and I did a masterboard. You can see the black and white behind there. That's a masterboard piece I did in black and white, and then I added the napkin on top. This was inspired by Kathy Arbor. She did a tutorial of painting these like a bunch of flowers. I don't recall if she had a hand. I might have added that myself. And this is the same black and white background. You can see different parts of it. So I think I did it, and then I scanned it and made a photocopy of it so I could use it again. This is when I started learning about Suminagashi. I do have a video on that. And then just using magazine images, just very simply collaged on. This actually, the original had more texture. I sent the original to Callicrafty Pam, and I just made a copy for myself. The original is about quite a bit brighter, but I just wanted to remember what I did. I think that's posted on Instagram. And then this is some Dina Weekly sprays, and then just some doodles, collage, doodle, 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 doodle. When in doubt, just doodle. This was an art challenge prompt I did with Callicrafty Pam. I made this little scene on Procreate. So this is when I'm starting to learn digital art. This is 2021, and so we had different prompts. So I did a tag for each week. That's a napkin. That's a napkin with the stamp, and I made some shrinky dinks. There's a video on this tag. Jane Davenport napkin. This is Pam's little mushrooms. She did hand-carved stamps. These tags really make this journal fluffy. I don't know. I might start storing them someplace else. It's just a bit too fluffy. Actually, let's just take those out. And then this is another tag. This is a pocket sent to me by Pam. I think I had this in here. And this is a flashcard, puzzle pieces, tissue, I think. So just some fun tags. This page is full of happy mail as well. That's from Zandra. That's from Pam. It's a little house. This was a technique that I saw on Kathy Berg and Colleen Scrapchick. They were doing a technique inspired by someone where you take washi tape and you add colors. I don't remember the name of it. I'll have to look back and write it myself a little note. And that's a little lady that Pam, Callicrafty Pam, sent me, and those are her mushrooms. This was alcohol ink background I did. I just put a sticker on it. This is a jelly plate, a jelly print, like an abstract landscape. I think I added black Posca and then spritzed it to make it spread in the middle. This is another jelly print. This is a Jane Davenport stamp. And then some die cuts on a jelly print background. And that's a stencil by PM Artist Studios. I'm gonna have a lot of links to put in this. This was inspired by Dee Dee Willingham. She was working through this book, 365 Days of Art, and those were fun. You just make a little watercolor blob and then you just doodle some birds. I find this is a fun size of journal to play in. It's pretty quick and easy. That's a jelly print, and then I added doodles on top. Again, that's a PM Artist Studio stencil, napkin, PM Artist Studio collage papers, and a mushroom, and some washi tape from, I'm not sure if it's from Xandra or from Pam. And I put some little critters on the bottom, just using some stamps. This back page I had done in 2020 as like a little test. And the end. So just doodle that. And these are stamps. These are some cute little washi tapes from Lena. And I tend, in my art journals, I tend to not, I know to keep the spine straight, you should go back and forth. I guess I'm more of a chronological type of person. I like to go front to back, especially in this kind of journal. I'm just fooling with techniques. That way I can remember what I did. So thanks so much for watching. If you made it all the way through, happy arting. Play and have fun. Okay, bye.